In the business world right now, there's this changing of the guard happening where the baby boomers, they're retiring. And a lot of them are entrepreneurs and they have their own businesses. And right now, there's the opportunity for you, the budding entrepreneur, the guy that's trying to figure out, what do I want to do with my life? How am I trying to create my own wealth and my own path? We're going to look at the unique opportunity in the journey of buying a business. Where can you go to make this happen? Or what's the path for you to create your own financial independence? There's a bunch of advantages from buying a business instead of starting a business. One of the most important things is you're buying an established reputation. To give you an example, I didn't start Crowdfunding Lawyers. I actually bought Crowdfunding Lawyers. It's a law firm. We help people get capitalized and launch their businesses. But you know what? When I bought it, I inherited a legacy. I have an existing customer base. They had thousands of clients already when I first stepped into the opportunity. There's already these systems in place. There's knowledge and a team that's already there to make the engine work. And one of the most important things is you get this knowledge transfer. Whoever is selling the business, guess what? They want to see it be successful too. The secret of buying a business is most of the time, the vast majority, 90% of the time, whoever's selling the business is keeping self-finance. The secret is with almost everybody, 90% of people that are selling their business, they're having to do some sort of seller financing, having a promissory note, creating a debt. That part of your payoff of the business acquisition is getting paid to the seller. They want to make sure that the business is sound and safe as well. That's where these sellers of businesses, the retirees that are just looking for their legacy to go on, they're there to provide you consulting, this knowledge transfer of how to be successful once you acquire and you're operating their legacy. But now the benefits go to you. There's a number of steps when you're looking to purchase a business, but it starts before you ever get something under contract or even identified. Let's begin with, where is your interest? You've got to have some passion, experience, knowledge, at least some basis of where you're going to operate your business and a belief that it can be successful. This takes market research. And I'm going to double emphasize, it takes passion. If your full focus is going to be on making this business a success, you better have your heart and soul into making it work. Once you figure out, here's the industry, here's the area, here's what my focus is, next, you have to actually find the business. And there's a bunch of platforms out there online. I know that really a majority of businesses are available for sale as long as the price is right. Sometimes you literally just pick up the phone and start talking to people. There's a great educational network. It's called the Epic Network. It's epicnetwork.com. They actually help people acquire businesses with no money down. I'm not affiliated with them. I'm just saying that here, you've got support. There's places to get education on how to find a business, negotiate the business acquisition, the price, the timing, the financing, the ongoing consulting and support that the seller wants to provide to you. Once you find that business and that opportunity of what to buy, you're always looking for a win-win situation with the seller and yourself. And they're looking to make as much money as well. That as long as it's a reasonable purchase price on reasonable finance terms, it creates a win-win. The next step is when you get into the legalese, the contracts. That's actually where the attorneys come into play. Feel free to reach out to my firm, Crowdfunding Lawyers. We do help with these things, but the important thing for you to know is you need to have an attorney that's watching your back, that has the experience, has gone through this plenty of times to make sure that everything that you're doing is legal and you're protected. Once you have everything under contract, you're still doing due diligence on the business itself. You're looking at their financial statements, or you have your accountants looking at their financial statements. You're going through what's their inventory, what's their focus, what have they been doing on marketing, and can you actually continue it? If it's a service company, you just got to know it's a lot of personal relationships. So how are those personal relationships going to transfer from the old owner to you? That's where a lot of the transition and integration comes into play. So it's important to plan that out. And it's always going to come down to the seller providing that knowledge, supporting the transitions of relationships. Maybe they're agreeing to continue to work in the business for 6 months or a year. Generally, you're paying them for that, or it's built into the purchase price. But you do want that continuing support, especially in a service industry area. Now, as part of these acquisitions, you have to be ready to navigate potential challenges. To give you an example, I've bought a few law firms over the years, and sometimes there's some legacy issues, such as employees just used to, this is how we do things. We're used to working for this old boss. So getting people to buy into the new culture, the new attitude. There's even generational differences. We're talking a lot about purchasing businesses from baby boomers. The older generations that, they're retiring. They're looking for somebody new to step in, to run their business, to continue their legacy. And that's where you come into play. But again, people are just used to operating the same way they've been doing it. And a lot of the sellers, they expect things to happen the same way they always had. Reality is, you're here to do it your way, not their way. And a big part of it, something for you to think about, is the technology transition. A lot of these businesses, they're being run archaically. They don't have AI. They don't have all this technology in place to make running it more efficient, faster, and easier, which is where your opportunity to scale profitability is today that was never there in the past. And I encourage you to think about, as you're looking at these opportunities, as how can I make this more automated? How can I leverage AI to do it better and faster? And this is where you're going to take some old stodgy industry opportunity that's been around for the last 20 years and bring it into the now and make it so much better. So you've always got to be thinking about upgrading the systems, not just from an efficiency standpoint, but forward looking. How does adding the technology go to increase the profitability, how to make your life that much easier, and how it will continue to help you grow this already established business and brand? And let's talk about the amazing things such as building a legacy. To reflect on my own journey, I know nowadays I've got a public profile that's really attached to Crowdfunding Lawyers. Before I acquired the law firm, there were others that stood in my place. They had their legacy. They had their name. And now I've had to step in, recreate some public persona, keep moving forward, building the old relationships, creating new relationships, helping new people establish their businesses looking forward. It's building and continuing the legacy. And this is actually a big part of why the baby boomers, they want to sell to you. They've spent decades building their legacy and building their business, and they want to see that live on. Part of the dream of everybody is to have a legacy that goes beyond their own lifetime. by you buying their business and you continuing their legacy. It's actually a huge incentive for people to sell that have already gone into retirement or are looking to retire. But what they're not thinking about is how you can create your own legacy, going through the innovative expansions, how to make their legacy that much bigger and better for yourself, how to create community engagement. You know what? There's already a name, there's already a brand with these businesses. But you know what the baby boomers didn't think about that really you do nowadays is that community engagement, bringing people together, having a social or intrinsic goal that is so much bigger than let's just make a dollar. And that's also part of you building your own legacy. And once you buy that business, once you start your entrepreneurial journey, you're able to create that community, that audience of customers, of people that you're working with, spheres of influence. You're creating your own legacy that's hopefully going to go on beyond yourself, because someday you're going to sell the business too. So that's the journey of identifying, acquiring, and how to think about the future with buying a business from a baby boomer. So here's the journey, the entrepreneurial adventure of buying a business, how to do it, how to find it, how to launch it. But it's always really important for you to remember that you're the custodian of a legacy. You're helping the seller's business carry on beyond their lifetime. And you do a great job. Someday you sell and it carries on beyond your own.